Another day, another dollar, another group of left-wingers trying to get someone banned from speaking. This should not even be news now. In fact, it isn't news, but it's still important to point out every single time it happens to understand the cultural war that exists in Canada in 2017 surrounding free speech. And who else at the center of it but Professor Jordan Peterson, the University of Toronto psychologist who became famous for his refusal to use gender-neutral pronouns or preferred gender pronouns with transgender students at the University of Toronto. Now, Professor Peterson hasn't always been a free speech crusader. He hasn't always been a guy who's been known for language issues. He is a renowned psychologist in his own right. He's authored nearly a dozen papers that have achieved worldwide fame and renown on issues connected to the psychology of creativity, among a number of other things. And it's in that spirit that he was invited to give an address at the National Gallery of Canada, the federal institution in the nation's capital, Ottawa. Now, this speech was going to go ahead because of Professor Peterson's psychological expertise. Not that anything else matters, but it's important to focus on what was really the invitation. But that is apparently a bridge too far. Transgender activists in Ottawa, members of the LGBTQ manganese 474chan group are actually saying that Professor Peterson should be banned from speaking. One in particular told CBC, Cara Tierney, who used to be one sex and is now a they, a non-gender binary fluid. I lose track of the lexicon. You'll have to forgive me here. Cara Tierney has written to the National Gallery saying that Professor Peterson should be banned, saying he should not be allowed to speak. Certainly, if there was a known anti-Semite who also perhaps had something interesting to say about psychology and creativity, I don't imagine that we would be inviting this individual to come and talk. So there you have it. It is to refuse to use certain gender pronouns akin to anti-Semitism. This is the equivalency we're seeing from the left, which seems prone to censor more than debate at every stop. This is what the gallery itself said, which so far is not capitulating, and I'm grateful for that point. The gallery invited him to speak about his specific research interest in the psychology of creativity, a subject he has spoken about at scientific conferences across North America and about which he has authored over 10 scientific papers. This was a statement from the National Gallery. Jordan Peterson himself said, look, all of the controversy, however misplaced it may be, is irrelevant to his remarks. But then there's this comment that I really wanted to share from another critic. This is a woman who has a transgender child and is also in a relationship with a transgender person, someone who also thinks Peterson should be banned. Art itself has always been historically a safe space for the queer community. And so when our National Art Gallery is giving space to somebody who is very anti-LGBTQ, then what does that say about our country? The fact of the matter is, art is, if you really want to be serious about it, the least safe space around. Art has been the area where nothing has been too controversial to artists. Artists want to tackle every single social issue. Artists want to take out regimes, end dynasties, end empires. Art is the least safe space there is, but artists only want controversy on their terms. The left only wants controversy in a safe space on their terms. And herein lies the Peterson dilemma. Here's a guy who is part of the academic elite. Here's a guy who has a very prominent role at a university, but the left does not want him to speak. The left wants him not just to be ignored, but actually silenced, banned a platform, banned a venue at a public institution. Government has no right to censor. They want 100% conformity. No debate, no dissent, no discussion, 100% conformity. And that's why these remarks at the National Gallery of Canada, even if they are on psychology and creativity, are so important to allow to proceed. Because he disagrees with something that they think in another area altogether, they think he should be denied a platform on this issue. 100% conformity. Anything short of it, you don't deserve a platform. Peterson didn't want to be a free speech crusader until it became an issue that threatened him and threatened his existence. Do we really want to start taking away from people's accomplishments because we might disagree with some political thing they say on another platform? And the dirty little secret is that Peterson himself is the most likely person to engage with these people, but they don't want engagement. They want censorship. The National Gallery of Canada is so far holding the line. We must make sure they never change that. For the Rebel.media, I'm Andrew Lawton. Hey, if you like what you see here, make sure to go to therebel.media for lots more great content and commentary. And check out premium memberships exclusively at therebel.media, things you won't see anywhere else in Canada.